Kyle Shanahan talking about Jimmy Garoppolo, the guy who continues to be on the roster, continues to be on track to be the starter despite everything they gave up to get Trey Lance. And Jimmy Garoppolo comes in much higher than Trey Lance on the Chris Sims top 40 quarterback countdown. He's at number 21. That one surprised me. To see Garoppolo's name ahead of Ben Roethlisberger, that is stunning to me.
Yeah, well, I think if you put Jimmy Garoppolo on the field in Pittsburgh last year, you would have got the same results, if not better. Again, my quarterback rankings is about everybody's playing on the same offense, the same team, and here is my pecking order or my depth chart that way. Now, Jimmy Garoppolo, listen, I mean, we know the number one thing about him is, yes, availability, but we know he can execute an offense and take advantage of a lot that's there to be had and help you win football games. And even though, like, the talent isn't, like, top-end, wow, oh, my gosh, the guy knows how to play the game. He has a quick release, and he's got very good feel within the pocket for being a lesser-than athlete for the 2021, quarterback expectation. Yeah, he's a true pocket passer. There's almost no extending of the play outside the pocket with Jimmy Garoppolo. But, like a Brady, and not to Brady's extent, he can manipulate within the pocket and move and make people miss and throw the ball from different angles and things like that. But the reason he's 21 is because he's not going to deliver, a lot outside the realm of the offense and what's there and put on, a platter by the offensive coordinator. So it's a big year for Jimmy G. I'm not surprised to hear he's doing well, in the mini camps and OTA. He's basically fighting for his career, his job, everything, whether he wants to be a starter next year. All of those things are dictated on the play this year. So we'll see where it goes.
And he plays really well this year, and the 49ers are really good, and Trey Lance gets another year on the bench into 2022. It's not inevitable that Jimmy Garoppolo's body is just going to fracture into a million pieces. People think that he is that fragile. He played all of 2019, all the way through to the Super Bowl. He went wire to wire. I mean, there's a better chance that he'll play all year than there is he'll miss all year. That's for damn sure. So I really think they got freaked out by the fact that they blew it on Patrick Mahomes. They blew it last year on Tom Brady, and they just felt like they had to do something because they couldn't rely on Jimmy Garoppolo. And the best alternative was keep Garoppolo, develop another guy, and they just assume at some point over the next couple of years it will become obvious that it's time to move from Garoppolo to Trey Lance, and maybe it won't.
Well, I mean, you're right. Jimmy's going to have a say in that for sure, and their team is good, so he's going to have a chance to really have a loud voice in this conversation. I still, I think, what you're saying, I agree with. I can't dispute any of that. I do think that plays a factor in the situation and where they are and those type of things. I also sit there and look at, again, I just think that, whatever you want to call it, just the light popped on, whatever, where I think Shanahan, he's got such great confidence within his offense and everything and things like that. And, we've gotten to Super Bowl with Matt Ryan and Jimmy Garoppolo, but I think he's realized, too, man, I might need a guy that he can make a play, extend a play, do something to take the pressure off me from time to time. And I think that's probably what he saw within the beauty of Trey Lance. And that's why, he got that. We talked about it during the year last year, got that firsthand experience of looking at Josh Allen going, damn, we're playing perfect defense, and he's just tearing us up. And that's the thing with Jimmy G. We've seen that. When the Shanahan offense isn't maybe executing at all levels and they're not dominating in the run game and things like that, he is not the type of talent as far as an athlete, arm power, anything like that, that's going to go, hey, guys, I got it today, like we were talking about Deshaun Watson. I'll carry you. I'll make plays. I'll do things like that. No. I mean, you see these are highlight plays. There's a lot of wobblers being thrown out there. It's not a real strong arm, right? He's not a good deep ball thrower. But, in between the numbers, feel in the pocket, knowing how to execute an offense, all of those type of things. Yes, I think he's slightly better than a Ben Roethlisberger right now at this point of his career. But, there's certainly some question marks. We know that about both guys.
The better Garoppolo plays this year, the better the 49ers do, the more pressure it puts on Trey Lance. It's kind of a Jordan Love situation, not to the same extent because Garoppolo is a far cry from Aaron Rodgers, but we'll feel differently about Garoppolo. Others will feel differently about Garoppolo if he plays well this year and if the 49ers get back to what they were 2 years ago.
Right.
Week by week, game by game, victory by victory, our assessment will improve. And there's always going to be this nagging, why did they do what they did? Why did they give up the 12th overall pick and 2 future first-round picks when they have Jimmy G? They were wrong about Jimmy G. Well, no, because that injury is always around the corner. Look, they have stepped into a vat of quicksand here that I don't think they quite realize how deep it could go. And they think these are all good problems to have. I still think the best problem is no problem.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there. And, yeah, there's a lot of different directions that this 49ers story can go. You're right. And some of them, there's definitely a few avenues of, whoa, that's not good, that's bad, this is bad, that's a disaster. Hey, there's some great ones too. I don't want to deny that, certainly. You know, their team is in a good spot. But, you know, hey, the writing's on the wall to a degree, you know. I mean, yeah, the 49ers, you know, they've seen what they've seen from Jimmy G, and they want more. I mean, they told us that this offseason. They want more. They were kind of telling us that last offseason. You know, just only the Brady situation was the only thing that presented itself, and obviously they didn't want to do it for whatever reason. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. It is. And Jimmy G, he's a tough one. He is. For the fact of not playing and all of those issues, it is a real aspect of his game. I mean, yeah, he played that full season 2 years ago, but hurt last year, hurt the year before the Super Bowl, hurt the year before that in New England, and that would scare me a little bit too if I was the head coach of a football team.
The guy who replaced Tom Brady in New England, Cam Newton, he comes in at number 20 on Chris Sims' top 40 quarterback countdown. He's another guy who has a rookie looming, 15th overall pick. Mac Jones, the guy that many thought would be the pick at number 3 overall after the 49ers traded up. Mac Jones has looked good at times in the offseason. Cam Newton looked good at times last year. I still think the COVID-19 thing is what screwed him up.
Right.
And they really like him. That's why I'm so confused by the fact that they took Mac Jones. Maybe they just thought we couldn't refuse a guy who fell into our laps at 15. They really like Cam Newton. And I think 20 is a good spot for him. I think he could go up from there this year if he can stay healthy and if he can continue his development in that offense.
Yeah. I'm in the area here with Big Ben, Garoppolo, Cam Newton. There's some guys coming up on the list. It's just, there's some question marks. You know, it's not the easiest placement of some of these guys. You know, some of it is projection and things like that, and feel for, you know, where they are in their career and those type of things, piecing things together, no doubt about it. Yeah, they drafted Mac Jones in the first round, but it's New England. They're also always playing chess. They're thinking about years ahead of this and the big picture's the thing. Also realizing Cam, hey, he does have an injury history too, you know, and, you know, again, we've seen him get hurt, not play the best last year, to where they're protecting themselves in case it's not good again, you know, this year, to where they have something for the future. That's New England. But, like, Cam Newton's still good. He's still, again, I think we have to get into the conversation of stop evaluating every guy the same through the, the pure quarterback drop back passing lens. No, it's 2021. The position's changed a little bit, everybody. Get over it. Cam Newton is like a force of nature. It's not about necessarily how he picks you apart and those type of things. The beauty of Cam Newton is the effect he has on the game. The pressure he puts on the defense that we talk about so much, right? And the passing stats, they're not great. I get it, you know. But when you add the rushing stats to it, 12 touchdown rushes, now it's only it's 20 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. It's not that bad. Let alone, you know, he helped out a number of different things in that offense, too, that will not statistically be acknowledged. You know, he helps out their running game. He helps out their offensive line. And here's the last reason why, maybe just from pure quarterback play, he's not playing as good as Jimmy G or Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, maybe not. Maybe they have the edge there. But where they don't have the edge in even the same stratosphere is Cam Newton's presence, leadership, the things he brings on the field that we constantly hear about, that New England is constantly waxing poetically about. So there's obviously something in New England out there that they see and they like. And last year was a weird year, to your point, with the COVID and a bunch of other things. So I'm expecting a better Cam Newton. There's no doubt about that. And let's not disrespect him too much. He's still a force of nature.
MVP in 2015, banged up a lot, and I think that he can be a lot better than he was last year.
Yeah.
He can take the Patriots a lot farther than people expect. He's got weapons now.
Yes.
But what did we witness the first few days of free agency? The shopping spree by Bill Belichick to address those weaknesses offensively. And if you don't have great receivers, it makes it harder to make the offense go from a passing standpoint. So I agree with you. I like the placement of Cam Newton. And I think that he's still got plenty of good football left in him. He's only been in the NFL for 10 seasons.
Yeah.
I mean, that's half of the time that Tom Brady's been in the league.
Let's not wipe away, what he did early in the year before COVID. Like, he was throwing the ball great right then. Everybody was going, see, it was Belichick. It's not Brady. It's, holy cow, we didn't need Brady. We would have wanted, literally, that's what everybody was saying. And then COVID hit, and he, of course, really got flustered, didn't throw the ball well, lost his, mechanics, his feel, things like that, and it became an issue. But here's some other things, too, though, that I think are, really positives. We can go through some games last year, and, again, there was no room for error for this team. The defense was good, but it was not great. They had issues. The offense had to play a certain way to kind of help the defense. The offense also had to play a certain way because, like you talked about, there was lack of weapons and receivers, and Cam Newton didn't have the knowledge of the offense that Tom Brady did, being in that offense for 19, 20 years, whatever it is. So he couldn't take advantage of all the schemes and things like that. But there's a number of games you can go through with Cam Newton and look back at it and go, and you'll never hear these phrases attached to his name, he managed and played the game perfectly, made zero mistakes and made some plays that, of course, helped the team. I could think about the Jets game. It wasn't easy. They didn't play well. He played perfect and brought them back to win the game with, no room for error. If they mess up at all, they're going to lose. The Ravens game the week after, there's a number of games where he played the position really well without a lot of talent around him. And, yeah, the throwing, there was some misses, there's no doubt. But I just have a confidence that he'll fix that because I've seen him throw the ball at a really, really high level a number of times in his career.
And you mentioned that leadership factor. I know the Patriots believed he was the perfect guy to follow Tom Brady. A different style, a different approach, commanded the locker room, and gives him an edge to be the starter in 2021, which leads to this question. With Trey Lance behind number 21, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Mac Jones behind number 20, Cam Newton, who starts a game first, Lance or Jones?
I'm going to go with Lance. Man, yeah. I'm going to go with...
betting on injury?
I'm betting on injury a little bit. And you know what? I think we'll see Lance first anyways because of, all the things you talked about and the pressure around that situation. I will at least say I think we see him on the field first in some capacity, a package to get the fans excited, get him a little experience, all those things. I don't know. In New England with that situation and everything there, I don't think we see Mac Jones unless there's an injury or Cam Newton really struggles mightily that way. So I guess, I favor Trey Lance in that conversation a little bit more than Mac Jones.
I think it's going to be Mac Jones first, so we'll see.
Okay.
We won't remember any of this. We raise these questions about, hey, what's going to happen? What's going to be this? And then we just move on to the next day, and by the time it ever happens, we have long forgotten the thing we talked about, but that's just kind of the way it goes for everybody.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.